Yesterday, we understand the meaning of business and economics, what it is. And we learned that a business, it is a complex where this particular process, it is being to earn profit. So that is a very beginning motive of business. In regards to the international business, when selling or purchasing of goods happens with different countries, that is, we can say, international business. And economic, which is divided into microeconomics and macroeconomics. And what is micro and what is macro, that also we have learned yesterday, if you remember. And then I shared some statistics in regards to world largest corporations, and we also discussed their ranking according to turnover. Where do they stand? And at number one, Walmart, US-based company, which is ranking at a first position. And from India, which was the company who ranks at a world level? Which company from India? Yes, which company from India? Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So from India, which company? Not remembering? Do you remember? This is the meaning of international business, economics, characters of business also we have discussed. Now look at this table. I am talking about this thing yesterday, which I shared with you. World largest corporations. So from India, which company? See this my PPT and give me answer. Can you see my PPT? Is it visible? So which company from India? Which company from India?
Indian Oil.
Indian Oil. Once again, look at this table where Indian Oil, it is ranking at what level? What is the ranking of Indian Oil? Ranking. It is at 189 position. 189. And Walmart, which rank at first. See the difference. Walmart, which is ranking at a first position, and our Indian Oil, though it is a big company, but its position it is 189. So this is the vast difference between 1 and 189. So in a world, there are many companies who are having tremendous revenue. They are having the largest turnover. You can imagine from this particular slide. Let's move ahead. Actually, yesterday we have discussed this. Now, let's understand the difference between domestic company and international business operation, domestic business operation and international business operation, what it is. I hope you can read my PPT. Anyone from your side, would you like to read this? Will anybody read this slide? Yes. Will anybody read this slide? Domestic business operation, international business operation. Domestic, known environment such as economic, political, legal. Now suppose if Indian company is there, so Indian company is known about their own economic position, their own political, who is ruling country, and legal, etc. Now for example, suppose from India, a person who is starting business in India itself, so they know the languages of India, that our official language is Hindi, then regional languages are there, Marathi, Gujarati, and so on, Malayalam. And English is also, and most of the state, English language is also being honored. So that political, now at a central level, who is the party who is ruling? So these things are aware. Even legal also, what are the legal system, Supreme Court, High Court also, these systems we are aware. Secondly, in international business, we are not fully known that the environment of international. There are several hidden factors emerges anytime, because you might have heard in newspaper that now Russia is planning to attack on Ukraine. Have you read this news? Russia, anytime they can attack on Ukraine. So there are some disputes going on from last, I think, several months, and now they are declared that anytime they will attack. So these hidden factors emerges anytime. Who will attack on over which country? It is unknown. So in international business operation, if you are there, who is planning at an international level, so we do not have idea. That is why I mentioned that hidden factors emerges anytime. Maybe political, maybe social, or maybe cultural. So several factors are there. Second one is short term to long term in regards to the domestic. But in international business, short term business are not there. There are only long term businesses. So this is the second difference. In domestic business, single currency, like in India, which is the currency we follow in India? What is our currency name? What is our currency name?
Rupaya.
Rupaya. And in international business operation, multiple currency. So which are the currencies at international level? Which are the currencies? Can you name some currencies at international level where the business transaction take place? Which are the currencies at international level? Multiple currencies. So which are the multiple currencies? Can you share me your answer? Yes. No idea. At international level currency, you do not name, you don't know names of international currencies? Huh?
Dollar,
Pound,
Pound.
dollar, pound. These are the only two. Yen, euro,
Japanese yen.
Japanese yen. So these are the multiple currencies where international business operation has. Okay. Suppose in the examination, if you are asked differentiate between domestic business and international business, you need to explain this. Okay. Now, another difference, Business risk predictable. Now, if you are starting business in India, the risk can be predicted. It can be estimated. We know that little bit. I am not saying 100% risk can be recognized, but at least 70%, 60%, you can imagine what will happen. So it is predictable. But at international level, it becomes very difficult to predict. We cannot guess at international level. Even 60% also we cannot guess. Maybe little bit, but not very much. So it becomes very difficult to predict. So this was the difference between domestic and international. And the last difference is at a domestic level, reasonable and easy to conduct business research. So if you want to conduct survey of your customer, so it becomes easy and it is reasonable also. With a minimum amount, with minimum payment, we can have a survey. But if you are planning for international level, then it is very expensive and difficult to conduct business research. Any doubt? Any doubt from this discussion? Okay, let's go ahead. Now we will be discussing what are the key factors influencing international business. These are the key factors which has influence over the international business. Means they are the, we can say, having commanding position. They command international business. So economic environment. Economic environment is what? Your GDP, gross domestic income, national income. These are some economic environment which matters a lot on international business. If individual national income, if it is higher, definitely that country is known as a rich country. Vice versa. If individual per capita income, if it is lower, then what guess he will have? If individuals national income, if it is individual income, if it is lower, so how you can, what guess he will take? What is the guess? Are you getting my question? Hello? Hello? Am I audible? So at an international level, suppose if particular country's per capita income, if it is lower, so what message it will take? Per capita income is lower. So what will be the message for you? We can say that that particular country people do not have that much purchasing power to purchase the things because their per capita income is lower. Then how they can purchase? They do not have sufficient money to interact or to have a business, to have a transaction in international business. Then social environment. Social environment also has a great influence over international business. If your social system and if there is a peaceful environment is there, definitely the particular country will have good turnover in the business, as well they can establish their business because their social system is appropriate. Vice versa, if social system is not appropriate, then it becomes difficult to have a business at international level. So social environment also matters a lot in international business. Now, considering our India, though we have diversity social system, because if you observe India, now you see in our Maharashtra, we speak Marathi. If you go to Kerala or Tamil Nadu, so their language is Telugu, Malayalam. If you go to the northeast states, like say Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, so there is languages are different. But apart from this differentiation in language, but still we are united as an Indian. and we follow Hindi and English language. So whether it is Manipur or whether it is Maharashtra, but we have that strength to come under one umbrella. So that is the unique feature which India has, though there is a diversified culture. Likewise, in other countries also, they are I will say homogeneous. Now, if you take example of USA, so there are also different states in USA, United States of America, but their creed and caste, number of creeds and number of caste are less as compared to India. In India, there are several castes, though we follow two or three religion, like say Hindu, Christian, and Muslim. But under this religion, there are number of castes and creeds. But having this differentiation, still we are united. We have some national festivals which we celebrate without having differentiation. Which are the national festivals we celebrate without having differentiation? Can you name some celebration? Which festivals we celebrate apart from creed and caste and religion? Which are the national festival? There are no national festival. What are the national celebration that whole India celebrates? What are the national celebration? Whole India. January 26, Republic Day. Do we celebrate or not? 26 January uh, throughout India, or it is being only celebrated only in Maharashtra and Pune? 26 January is being celebrated all over India, or it is being celebrated only in Maharashtra? What's it? Hello? 15th August, 26 January. These are the national celebration. Do we celebrate only at a particular state or whole India? No idea. Yes, yes, all over India. So why you are taking this much time, man? You should unmute yourself and talk the social environment. This is also one of the, it shows the integration of particular nation. Why I am giving this example, celebrating 15th August or 26 January, that shows the integration of our country to the outside world. So outside world also observe our celebration, and they guess that how we are united. So this social environment also matters. This social environment also matters a lot at international business. Then political environment. If your political situation, if it is not stabilized, shaky, then it also has effect on international business, because why, if it is not stable, it has adverse impact, because the government is not able to take a policy matter, they are not able to have negotiation, or they are not able to have a good relation with the outside world because of the instability in the political environment. If your political environment is stable, then definitely that particular country can move ahead because their political situation is stable, and with it becomes their strength. So that is why these are the key factors of influencing international business. So this was about the key factors. Do remember, have a screenshot of this slide. Shall I go ahead? Any doubt?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Now, the next one is which we have discussed: economic environment, social environment, and political environment. The same thing I have mentioned. Economic environment, which talks about GDP, gross domestic. I explained you that. And then social environment, languages. I told that in Maharashtra we speak Marathi, and in Kerala they speak Malayalam. And apart from we United States, that our literacy rate is also good one. Double income families are there in most of the state of India. Then political environment, home country political environment, and host country political environment. Now, as far as our India, we have state and central. So this system we follow. So this was about political environment. So take a note of this particular slide. If you have any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Already we have discussed. If any doubt, please ask me of any point. If no doubt, just say me, give me signal, then I will move ahead. May I go ahead? Shall I go to the next slide? Any doubt? I doubt again.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, globalization. How this globalization, and what is globalization? It is the process by which an activity or undertaking becomes worldwide in scope. So globalization, this is not the new phenomena. This is not new to us. It has been even before independence. This globalization has started before independence. This is not new thing. Please try to understand this. This is one of the older. Then it is not a 20th century phenomenon, but belongs to 16th century. I have mentioned it is not the new. Right from 16th century, 16व्या शतकापासून this globalization has started over the world. That is why it is old. आपल्याला असं वाटतं की globalization, it is a new thing. It is not new thing. It has been started from 16th century. So everyone is aware what is globalization. Only thing, the word we have given, that globalization, but the system was followed in 16th century through direct foreign investment is more recent phenomenon. Now recently, this FDI, foreign direct investment, has come, and that is why everybody is talking about globalization because of this foreign direct investment. Foreign direct investment is what? Foreigners are putting investment in different countries. That is foreign direct investment. Shall I go ahead? Shall I go to next slide? Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead. Now, what are the forces of globalization? Globalization of capital market, the forces are global financial market. As we know that if you want to purchase from Japan or from Switzerland, easily you can purchase. So nowadays, the market, at any market you can purchase anything. So there are no restrictions. So it is not a small market. It is not only city or your town market. Global market has become. Now global financial market means you can also purchase the financial product of other country through what do we say, ADR or GDR. That we will be discussing maybe in next session. ADR and GDR, these are the financial product. Anyone will share the long form of ADR and GDR? I am not asking meaning, only long form. Next session we will be discussing in detail. Right now I am just asking financial product, financial market. What is ADR? Long form of ADR and GDR? Anyone? What is the long form of ADR and GDR? No idea.
American Depository Receipt
Yes.
and Global Depository Receipt.
So these are the products which are available at a financial market, and everyone can invest into that. Those who are having surplus amount, they can invest. As she said, that American Depository Receipts and Global Depository Receipts. These are the, and maybe some other product we will be discussing in the next session. Then development of euro currency. This earlier. This euro currency was established in 2009. Prior to 2009, dollar was the only dominating currency. But now, in competition with dollar, euro is also competing. Euro is also in the competition. So there is dollar as well as euro. Then development of derivatives market. Derivative market has also come into the globalization, which has become the forces for globalization. So for your information, since it is a common subject, so just mention the development of derivative activities. What is derivative? The finance students' job it is. I know that here it is a mix of students, marketing, finance, HR. So right now we just mentioned that development of derivative activities. Okay. Then forces declining cost of transportation and communication and growth and reach of information technology. This has also become one of the force why globalization is going at a faster pace. Now today, if you send a email to a particular country, within a fraction of minute, your email reaches to the other country, and you can have communication. Am I correct? Communication is faster or not today? Communication is faster or today?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And even declining cost of transportation. Earlier, there was only very few aviation companies were there. Now, if you're talking about India, Air India was the only aviation company. But today, how many aviation company we have in India? Can you name some aviation company who are into this airline business? Or only Air India is there? Can you answer me? Only Air India is there? What are the aviation companies we have in India who are into the airlines business? Yes, please. No idea.
39.
Repeat your answer. Yes, please. Which are the airline companies we have in India? Only Air India is the company. Only one company we have. Can you answer me? Unmute your mic and give me answer. Hello. Only Air India is there. Which are the airline company? Hello.
Sir, Indigo,
Indigo, SpiceJet. Is it?
Cargo,
SpiceJet is the company. SpiceJet, Indigo. Now, because of these several companies, what is happening? Because of these several companies, the cost of transportation has reduced. There is a declining because there is a competition, and that is why there is a declining cost. Correct? And communication, I told you the email. Because of this information technology, within a minute we can send mail to other country. May I go ahead? Can I go to the next slide? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then another forces, growth of regional and international trading arrangements. So these are some agencies who are having system at an international level. GATT. GATT is known as General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, GATT. And NAFTA. It is North American Free Trade Agreement. These are the agencies who are making rules for international business. So if you follow their system, then it becomes easy to have an international business. So these systems are also developing at a global international level. That is why globalization is taking place. Then another is main hidden principle of the WTO is generate new business opportunities, enable competitors from abroad to enter the home market. So WTO, World Trade Organization, is also one of the uh, force for international business. Then availability of cheap labor. Now, everybody knows that in India, we have India and China particularly having a huge population. So because of this huge population, their labor is cheaper as compared to other country. Am I correct? China and India having a huge population, our labor is cheaper as compared to other country. USA, if you compare USA labor charges and our labor charges are cheap and USA labor charges are expensive. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Then these are the stages in globalization. That is purpose, move, action, and end result. Now, globalization, if I pick up this thing, the purpose is study the whole nation. Our purpose is to study the whole nation market, and then action is find the right partner. You know, if you want to study the whole nation, then you have to have a right partner with you, and the ultimate result is awareness created. So these are the stages in globalization. I have a screenshot of this particular slide, and before I move to the next slide, if you would like to know anything about this particular thing, please speak out. If any doubt, ask me. Read this slide, and if you have any doubt, ask me. I am giving 2 minutes, everyone. Please go through this slide, read it, and if you want to ask anything, you are free to ask. Stages in globalization. These are the phases in globalization. While reading, if you have any doubt, please ask. If any doubt, please ask me. Read the entire column, that is purpose, action, and end result. Can you see my PPT? I'm asking you to read, but can you able to see my PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take your own time, read it, and if any doubt, please ask me. Any doubt? Yes, please. Any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So I am going ahead now. The next topic, which is international trade theories. If you refer your syllabus, it is being mentioned that international trade theories. Now, what it is? Trade theory. I told that there is a system at international level, that is GATT and NAFTA. GATT, GATT. That I have shown. Now, what is this trade theory? Economists have focused on scale of economies, productivity, and the advantages of resources. So that is nothing but the trade theory. What are the advantages of resources? Productivity. How there will be a maximum production with minimum resources. That is known as productivity. And on the scale of economies, means on a scale of economy means there has to be employment opportunities. With the minimum labor, you have to achieve maximum output. So this everything comes under the on scale of economies. Then in trade theory also, why companies going for export and import? Naturally, companies, those who are going for export, their inflow increases, their balance of payment increases. Vice versa, a company who is going for import, their outflow increases because their currency is going outside world. In case of import, if you are into the export, then outside currency comes to our country. So that is why most of the country and their companies, if they would like to increase their flow of money, then naturally they will go for export. Then only your inflow will increase. If you are into the import, then outflow will increase. And why do companies export and import? Naturally, if companies are following export, means they have their quality product, and that quality product they are selling across the globe, and this way they achieve maximum revenue, maximum profit. Vice versa, why import is there? Because most of the time, if you want to achieve your highest production capacity, then we do not have that much machine. So we import machines from outside world, and with this machine, our business profit increases. So for that purpose also we import. Am I correct? Why there is export and import? Understood? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then last point is, how are these trade flow related to the characteristics of country? This particular trade flow related to the characteristics of country. How? Now, the country, now, for example, if you take example of Gulf countries, so Gulf countries are known for crude oil, and with this crude oil to the entire globe, they are selling their crude oil, and diesel and petrol is being utilized. So because they have wells in Gulf countries, and because of this well of crude oil, they are earning a lot. Gulf countries. Now for India, how do we earn money from outside world? I give the example of Gulf country crude oil. For India, which is the product where the rest of the world is importing from India. Rest of the world imports from India. What are the things we have? Or as India do not have anything to export. आपल्याकडे काहीच नाही का export करायला? What are the things we have which is not in other country? See, India is also, yes, spices, very correct. So spices, it is the thing, spices and tea, even tea also. Yes, spices and tea, which we have, where the rest of the world is importing from India, means we are exporting to the rest. So this way, the trade flows related to the character. This is the characteristics of country. Like India, we have spices. This is our characteristics. Gulf country, their characteristics is, uh, as I told that crude oil. Germany, their characteristics is engineering technology, engineering. So then that is their peculiar, or we can say the special feature. So international trade theories. International trade by Adam Smith. So I am taking you very long back. Let us understand. Known as absolute advantage in 1776, Adam Smith presented this theory, widely accepted and relevant in that year, 1776. Now today is 2022, but even whatever he has given absolute advantage, it is very much useful for each and every country. Then it believes that free trade always leads to a better division of labor. But these are some appropriate thought which are given by Adam Smith. He believes that free trade, there has to be free trade. Forcefully trade should not happen. There has to be free trade. And today is also acceptable free trade. So it leads to a better division of labor. Division of labor. As if you observe today, China and India are having a huge population. So they are having, if you refer statistics at a world level, now China is ranking at #1 position. And we are at this 6th position. Because of this population, China is at #1. So it is #1 economy. But if you are talking about income wise, then USA is #1. USA is #1 income wise. Otherwise, business wise, now China is #1 business wise. It also advocates that every country is specialized in certain production function and ultimately enjoy benefits. Every country. This Adam Smith in 1776, he mentioned that every country is specialized, and naturally every country has their specialization, and with that specialization they enjoy the benefits. As Saurabh mentioned that the spices. So this is our specialized production, spices, and rest of the world uh, they like our spices, and we are getting benefits out of that. Now here I have mentioned China, soft toys. So this is the India, metal, ware, and you can also add spices. Then South Korea, synthetic fiber. These are some example I have put it where they are getting benefit, and this is their specialized production. China specialized production, metal, India's metalware, South Korea, synthetic ware, and China's soft toys. So this is their specialization. May I go to the next slide? Any doubt from this slide? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. With this, Adam Smith trade theory argued that countries should produce and export surplus of what they have. But he has mentioned Adam Smith. He mentioned that a country who is having their production capacity, they should export surplus of their production. It should not be remain in same country. Whatever surplus is there, it should be exported so that their financial position will enhance. So it has been mentioned in 17th century, but unanswered. There is no answer. That is, what if a country had absolute advantage in all products, or even worse, in no products at all. Now there are some countries who are not having anything, their specialization. So what they should do? So there is no answer given by Adam Smith. It is unanswered. There are few countries where no specialized production is there. There are few countries we have in at a global level. There are no products at all. Everything they import. Everything they import. So for those countries, there is no answer. Then again, from your syllabus, Ricardo's theory, international trade by Ricardo. Now let's understand what Ricardo would like to mention in his theory. This international trade by Ricardo am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So it is known as
Yes, sir.
it is known as comparative cost advantage. Comparative cost advantage. 1 second, please. Sorry for the interruption. Known as comparative cost advantage. Ricardo's theory is also known as comparative cost advantage. Please note down this point. It has argued that cost led to trade between nations. It is cost is one of the delicate issue which led to trade between nations. If your cost is minimum or lower, definitely you can have business at an international level. And without saying that, you know that whose cost is lower. Can you give me which country's cost is lower and they are having maximum business? Which country? Which country's cost is lower? You know that country, everyone knows. Which is the country at an international level where the cost is very minimum and they are having maximum business throughout the world? Yes, absolutely. China. China is the country who is using this weapon, which is given by Ricardo. Ricardo, who has presented this theory, China is following that. And next number is our India. India is also following, but China at present, it is at number 1 position. As I mentioned, we are at the 6th position. We also follow the principles of Ricardo, that how we can have minimum cost. Then should specialize in the production of a commodity in which it has a comparative advantage in cost. We have to have a specialized in production of a commodity in which it has a comparative advantage in cost. So like spices and even rice and cotton, these are our things where there is an advantage in cost. Then Ricardo has also mentioned countries should have ability to produce one product related to another product. A country who is having capacity to produce related product, so that country will definitely have advantage of cost. Now, for example, now India, we know that it is rich for production of sugar. So we are in India, we have large amount of sugar production. But if you sell this sugar, but most of the countries like European countries, they don't prefer sugar of India because of this diabetic and other issues are there. So our sugar is not having that much market at an international level. But this sugar if you develop relative product, like say sugar cube, there are sugar cubes are there. With some process, you can have sugar cube, and then sugar cube are preferred by European people than sugar, rather than sugar. They may not prefer sugar, but sugar cube definitely it is preferred by European people. So this is relative product. So this way we have to have. Are you following my example? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ricardo has also given some assumptions, but these are the assumptions. These assumption means within this boundary, we have to follow this theory. So no one can challenge this assumption, but this has to be keep in your mind. Number one, that two countries producing same two commodities. There are two countries producing same two commodities. Second assumption, wages determine the price. Whatever selling price you decide, the wages is one of the important factor. So he has mentioned this assumption in his theory. So please note down these assumptions. Maybe in examination, you will be asked that what are the assumptions quoted by Ricardo in his trade theory. No change in the taste and preference of the people. So this is also one of the assumption he has mentioned. There has to be no change in the taste and preference of people. So it remains constant. The taste and preference of people remains constant. Have you understood? Assumption. No change in the taste and preference of the people. Any difficulty to understand this assumption? If any difficulty, then I will again explain. But if you understood, then we should not waste time.
Understand, sir.
Okay. Now, no change in technology. Technology remains same. That is the assumption put by Ricardo. Ricardo is saying that technology should be constant again. Taste should be constant. Technology should be constant. Then he has also mentioned production is based on perfect competition. So this perfect competition, this has come from the economics. There are two types of competition: perfect competition and imperfect competition. But Ricardo follows that there has to be perfect competition. Then these are the assumptions which are put by Ricardo. Then now we are at a close to our closing time. If you have any doubt, please ask. Otherwise, we will close the session. The next theory we will discuss in the next session. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Thank you all. I am closing session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.